This would be at the new stadium. So 100,000 capacity new stadium. When you buy your season ticket in the new stadium, you will be offered the opportunity to buy a license. What that license will do is means that that's your seat, sometimes for 20 years, sometimes for the entirety of the time that stadium's there. So let's say when that stadium's built, you can buy a license on the seats that you have, say 2 seats. You buy a license, which means they are your 2 seats for life, as long as you keep renewing your season ticket every year, which sort of makes me think, is that not the current situation anyway? Because you have a period where you can renew your season ticket. Anyway, £4,000 it will cost to do that. Now, if everybody does that, 100,000 people at 4,000, that's 400 million Man United can make, just like that, for coming up with something that didn't exist before. If 50,000 people do it, it's 200 million, just like that. I mean, you're just printing money. You're using fans again to print money. So not only is your season ticket going up, not only do they, I mean, I was down the Superstore on Monday because Seb wanted a water bottle for training. You can buy a Man United shirt for 80 quid, the away top, and then you can buy an authentic one for 120 quid. And I was like, you can tell the difference. Like the 120 quid one is like better. The 80 quid one is like, it's just like a printed one. So yeah, it's money, but it's always, you know, the Glazers have never put a pound into this football club. You, I, and everybody watching this stream has put more money into Man United than the Glazers. And it's incredible, isn't it? They don't put anything in. So this is just another cash grab. £4,000 if they do it, just to have a license. You still have to pay your season ticket price every year, by the way. So you pay 4,000. That sort of gives you a right to buy your season ticket every year. But you still got to pay a grand or two or whatever for your season ticket every year as well. It's like a timeshare, really. It's incredible. But we've probably got plenty of USA fans saying this happens a lot in the US because I wrote a few down. So it does happen. 35,000 for Dallas Cowboys. LA Rams were doing them from 160,000. So it's common in American football where you have a license and then you buy your season ticket. You're just printing cash. You're basically printing cash. The MCC does it in Australia as well, says Cameron. I mean, look, I've got to be honest. There's part of me that goes, this is the way of the world. I'm absolutely convinced that Champions League games are going to be played in New York in the next 5 years, 100%. I'm convinced about it. And if they're doing this in the NFL, we've got American owners, we're going to start doing it. And if we do it, Chelsea will do it, Arsenal will do it. So it's definitely coming in. But my issue is, it's just like 2 issues, really. One, it's always football fans that end up paying for everybody else. And 2, Manchester United shouldn't do this. Like, they shouldn't be looking at ways to raise hundreds of millions of pounds off football fans when the owners have us in nearly £1 billion worth of debt. To me, it's probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen in football, and there's not a lot we can do about it. But on a purely Manchester United level, it makes me sick, because what people don't realise about the stadium is it's going to cost £2 billion. And whilst the government are going to pay for the regeneration around it, they're not going to pay the $2 billion for the stadium. So we need to pay $2 billion for that stadium. Now, most of it will probably be service debt again and loans, but they need some cash injection. And who's going to do it? You're going to do it. It's going to be the fans who pay for it. It won't be the Glazers putting it forward. It won't be Sir Jim putting it forward. It's going to be the fans. And that's what disgusts me about it. It's the fans again paying for the debt. It's the fans again paying for the mistakes of who owns this football club. And of course, as well, the incredible thing is there'll be plenty of people lining up to pay this £4,000, but you won't be paying it for 5 years. And in 5 years' time, when we go back to what we were talking about, the striker situation, in 5 years' time, when this stadium opens and you're paying £4,000 for your license and then £3,000 a year for your season ticket or whatever it's going to be, you're going to be paying to watch Manchester United play in the Europa League and whatever that is. Because in 5 years' time, when this stadium gets built, we won't have been in the Champions League. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal will have earned £500 million from being in it 5 years later. And also, when we built the stadium, we're going to have to pay that off as well for 5 or 10 years. So I think United financially could be restricted for a decade at the worst possible time. This is so important. Like, I've been talking about this on That's Football and a little bit on here. The way football is going, the Champions League is the Super League. The money you can earn is incredible. They spoke about it in the Telegraph today, so the media are starting to pick up on it. £1 billion has been spent by Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal. £1 billion in this summer transfer window. And they finished top 4. Normally, a club that finishes 6th or 7th tries to outspend the top 4 to get in. The top 4 are outspending the people below the top 4 to make sure they're in the top 4 next year, the year after that, the year after that. So United, at the worst possible time, are embarking on cost cutting and a 10-year plan to cost cut and try and find a way back. 10 years of the Champions League earns you £1 billion, probably more. We're basing that on the first year of 100. It's the worst possible time for United to be putting a plan in play about, austerity and, longer term vision, because, look at Chelsea against Man United. If Man United's 5-year plan is to build a stadium and cut costs, and we're not in the Champions League in any of those years, but Chelsea's plan is to, win things, every year they're going to be it's £500 million of revenue in prize money that we're not going to get. You can't compete.